Coming up on the opening bell on this jobs day, and here are the jobs numbers that we got just about an hour ago. 311,000 jobs added to the U.S. economy last month. Remember that blowout number in January? It was revised down, but just to 504,000 from 517,000. So still strong jobs growth for another month. 3.6%, the unemployment rate taking up 0.2%. And the wage growth cooling slightly, up 4.6% year over year. That's a little bit less than estimated, up 0.2% on a month-over-month basis. What does all of that mean for futures? Mixed picture here this morning. Dow and S&P futures pointing to a lower open, NASDAQ futures pointing to a higher open, and the opening bell on Wall Street here on Yahoo Finance, sponsored by Tasty Trade. Why are we seeing markets mixed here as we have that bright yellow opening bell here this morning? Well, it looks like people are trying to game out a lot of different aspects that they are now weighing. Of course, they're weighing and trying to game out what the Federal Reserve is going to do next, because on the one hand, strong job growth. On the other hand, a little bit weaker wage growth than estimated, which is good news for the Fed's quest to fight inflation. So that's happening on the one side. On the other side is what's been going on at Silicon Valley Bank and the turmoil there and what that then means. Are there any implications for the broader banking sector? There are a lot of questions about that this morning. It doesn't seem there are a lot of answers, but, you know, we talked to Seema Shah a little while ago. She said it doesn't seem as though this is going to be a widespread issue. She said pretty clearly and definitively, and this feels right, this ain't the financial crisis, right? This is not something of that magnitude that is now unfolding. And I think, Ines, safe to say, stocks reflect that as we open up this morning. They're down, but we're not seeing a big hit.
Yeah, that's right. We're looking at a little bit of a mixed picture when it comes to the sectors right now. We're seeing financials are down, technology is down, materials is down as well. But you're looking at consumer staples and utilities that are slightly higher. You've also got healthcare that is relatively flat. Over on the Dow, we are seeing a mixed picture here with the Dow. You've got McDonald's is up more than 1%. Intel, as the chips today, are seeing some gains. I want to point out the NASDAQ, which is mixed as well. We're seeing the mega caps, they're a little bit flat or down just slightly. But then we are seeing Tesla up 0.5%. Let's take a look at where we're at with those banks that we were mentioning. So you are seeing banks that are under pressure. Some of these under pressure more than the others. The bigger banks are not losing as much. But I want to also point out where we're at with the regional banks. We've got the regional chart here. And you can see the regional banks are under pressure as well here. So SVP is somewhere here as well. And you also have USB that's down more than 3%, US Bancorp, and PNC is down more than 3%. So the regional banks are the ones that right now are seeing some of the losses. But just going back to see where we're at with some gains, I do want to point out, as I mentioned earlier, that we're seeing some gains when it comes to the semiconductors, ASML up more than 1%, AMD also up, Broadcom as well.
Yeah, I mean, can we drill down into those banks a little bit? I know we have the regional banks somewhere on the heat maps here. And the reason it seems that the regional banks are suffering a little bit further is just concerns about, I guess, whether their balance sheets are in different shape than the biggest banks. But really, regulators, ever since the financial crisis, right, we do these stress tests. The regulators try and figure out, and make sure that all of these banks are well capitalized. But you look at the likes of a Zion Bancorp. I don't know if you see that one, Ines, but that is down some 20% here.
This is over a two-day chart. It's down. It's down 11%. But I've just pulled up the two-day chart so you can see. Actually, the regional banks were also under pressure throughout the week as well. So if we just
pull up the inverted yield curve,
exactly. Right? So if we pull up a 5-year chart, you're looking at quite a bit of, 5-day chart. You're looking at quite a bit of pressure with these banks. But today, let's look at the intraday. You're seeing some Zion down 10%. You're also seeing PacWest Bancorp down 24%. So some of these banks that you may not be as familiar with, these banks are seeing most of the losses right now.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to keep monitoring this, of course, throughout the day and figure out what's going on here, even as those FCB shares continue to be halted. And we don't know what the news pending is going to be on that company.